Good morning, gamers. Welcome into the Gamers Rose podcast. I'm your host, Joshua J. Alongside me, Wesley Lance.
I'm back finally. Sorry, guys.
Woohoo! Today is January 20th and our second episode of the brand new year. His first episode of the brand new year.
It's good to be back.
And we survived. We made it through. You almost didn't. That's why you were not here yet last week. But
yeah, so first week, had my wisdom teeth out, couldn't talk. Second week, got COVID. So are we allowed to say that?
yeah, I mean, yeah.
I got it. I'm fine. I got over it in like a couple days, but I was like, I don't really feel like I should be out recording a podcast while I have the plague. So took another week off, but I'm good. It was just literally like the worst way to start the year with no teeth, and I didn't lose my taste, so I still.
Did you say no teeth?
No teeth, like no wisdom teeth.
It just sounded like I tried it out with no teeth today.
What a great way to start the year, everyone.
Although fake teeth would be kind of nice.
I mean, they're not going to rot on you, so that's,
and they look great.
Yeah, that's true. I still like having my own teeth, though, because,
Start bashing my head against this mic.
No! Gosh. No, I like having my own teeth because, I don't have to worry about popping them out and, like, gluing them to the roof of my mouth. Anyway, welcome to 2022, everybody.
Soon they'll have bionic teeth. It'll be great.
Oh, yeah, you can buy it in the metaverse.
Dude,
not real
there
teeth.
You go.
Your fake teeth.
Well, they're not real teeth in the real world either.
Okay.
Still fake.
Stop getting philosophical on me, Josh. I don't like it.
Anyway, we're glad you're here. We're glad you guys are joining us. We actually was gifted this coffee by your girlfriend.
Yeah, Michaela bought this for us.
3 avocados. Good.
No, it's 3 avocados and then it's do good is their slogan. So they highlighted the D-O in avocado.
I was like, why did 3 avocados? Good.
That's their tagline. It's just good.
Is good.
No, so the reason their tagline is do good is because they actually, it was like 3 guys that got together and they fair trade their coffee, but they also, all of the profit, it's a nonprofit, so all of the net profits go toward clean water initiatives in underdeveloped countries, including Uganda, Ghana, Bolivia, and Thailand. So by buying this, you're helping them support clean water initiatives in other countries. So that's kind of cool.
That is really cool. And immediately I thought of Ghost Recon Wildlands, Bolivia.
Oh, Bolivia, yeah.
We got the coca.
Okay, no, that's not what this is. So I'm excited to try it.
Yeah.
It smells good. It's a good cause.
I don't know about avocados in my coffee.
It's not avocados.
It's 3 of them.
No, this
3
is
whole avocados per cup.
This is the Nicaraguan coffee. It's a medium roast whole bean. It says it's a well-rounded coffee, citrus notes with hints of honey.
So what do the avocados have to do with it?
I think it's like probably something with their story. Like, they grew avocados and decided to grow coffee. I don't know. I'd have to look into it more. Michaela knows the story.
One day 3 avocados got together and said, let's make a coffee. And they said, yes. Let's make it from Bolivia. And they said, yes. Let's also do Nicaraguan. And they're like, yes.
I was going to say, this is Nicaragua.
Well, yes. But 3 avocados made it.
So we also figured out that there's a setting on the coffee pot to actually brew only 2 cups. So that might have also been affecting. That. Sorry, I'm telling them. So
behind the scenes.
Hopefully this will be the best possible way we can have this coffee. So here we go. Ooh. Oh, I like this one.
Those avocados did great.
This is one of my favorites we've had.
Well done, fresh avocados.
Wow.
Well done. I actually really do like that.
There's no sourness. There's no burnt taste to it.
You know what it does remind me of?
What?
That $400 coffee we tried.
It's probably the closest we've gotten. Yeah. Like as far as smoothness goes.
Yeah.
That's really good. Like this might actually be my new go-to. So at home I've been buying Equal Exchange because A, you can get it without packaging, and B, it's all ethically sourced. Coffee is one of my things that I try to spend a little bit more money on to avoid like sketchy business practices. This one might have beaten that out, actually.
Wait. Okay. Rewind. Coffee is something you spend more money on to stop sketchy business practices?
So, all right.
I'm sorry.
Most coffee you buy is traded with slave labor. Like that's a big problem. Coffee and chocolate are 2 really, really big things.
Chocolate!
Yeah. So that's why usually it's fairly cheap to get coffee and chocolate. Whereas like the fair trade brands are usually a little bit more expensive because they ensure that the farmers that grow the coffee are getting paid a fair trade. So Equal Exchange is one of the brands that I trusted. I don't love the taste. It tastes a little, and maybe it's just because I don't drink coffee at my apartment very often because it's at the office here. Maybe if I went through it a little bit further, but it tastes a little like old and I don't know, fermented, I guess. I don't know. But the other reason I buy it is because you can get it in bulk from a co-op around here. And I like take a mason jar in and I can just put it under the dispenser and it just, which is kind of
nice. Cool. So what is Starbucks? Are they?
I have no idea. They say that they're sustainably sourced, but there's a difference between ethically sourced and sustainably sourced. That's another buzzword.
Yeah, why didn't they use the word ethically?
Yeah, sustainably means that like maybe they're like replenishing the trees and the water used, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. So I haven't looked into Starbucks. I don't know. But for the coffee that I buy, like the way that I use my money, because that's like the best way that you can vote as a consumer is with your wallet. I try to look out for those types of brands. Actually, Big B is another one where they go to every individual farm and stay with the farmers to see how they grow it. I know you don't like the taste,
Big B.
but that's one of them. But this one might have beaten out Equal Exchange for me. This is really good.
So if you drink pumpkin spice lattes from Starbucks, you're part of the problem.
No, not necessarily. Like, do some research. Like, I go to Starbucks. I do. Like, because usually only when I have a gift card, because people give me gift cards.
Man, but we are treading on some very dangerous ground for me, especially when I did not get sleep last night because my child is teething and
yeah, sorry, and I'm not trying
so
to.
I'm not
trying to be that you're not part of the. I'm just talking about my personal philosophy.
Oh no!
And my
I'm saying like
convictions.
I want to start making fun of some things, but also people don't understand that sometimes I make fun of serious things, but I very much just am joking. But three avocados: do good, taste good, feels good. Those are my new slogans for it.
That's really good stuff. I would probably put that up at a 7.5, maybe an 8.
I was at 8 or 8.5, to be honest.
I go 8, yeah. It's just like a perfect blend of a little bit of bite from the bitterness, but super smooth, super rich, super full.
As far as bang for your buck, this beats out the civet coffee because you can get it so cheap, but yet, and I say so cheap in relative to $400 for a pound. And it tastes amazing.
This is really good stuff. And it's paper packaging too, so, you know, it's a little bit more recyclable than plastic packaging.
Even though recycling does nothing to help the environment, and that's just what they tell you to make you feel better.
Recycling paper does. Recycling plastic is a lie. Plastic is the big problem. Paper and cardboard are usually and aluminum are actually usually recycled.
But using paper actually is very good because paper plants will create forests to then later cut down and create more forests.
Paper plants. Are you saying like we grow plants to cut them down?
Yeah, we grow the trees,
yeah.
Then we cut the trees down, and then we grow the trees again, and then we cut them down again. So like, see, making more paper actually helps the environment, whereas making more plastic, well, that's just not
plastic
great practice.
Plastic's a lie. Plastic is stupid, but
plastic is fake.
Well, it is.
Plastic is not real. It's part of the metaverse to control you. Sheeple, wake up, sheeple.
So I don't know why we got into like two of my big like convictions over this, but maybe it's because it's like actually like ethically sourced coffee, and that's like really cool.
Cures two of your convictions.
Yeah. So go for it. This is a hearty recommendation from the both of us.
And it actually tastes great. It's not like those things where like when you think of things that are good, they're usually either taste horrible or aren't great. Like Christian movies, a lot of the time suck.
Yeah.
Healthy foods suck.
Yeah, but not always.
That's why I don't have rock hard abs, because workout sucks.
I like the way I feel after I work out, but during the workout, it's kind of terrible. Yeah.
I hate myself throughout the entire thing. You know, like I'm doing a push-up, grabbing a donut, doing another push-up, grabbing another donut, and it's like, it just, what's the point?
Well, that's your problem.
The push-ups.
Yeah.
The push-ups.
Yeah, just eat the donuts. There you go.
Look, I got a little baby girl. I can have a dad bod. It's fine.
Oh yeah, I guess you're married, so at this point you're not worried about like attracting anybody else.
Exactly. We're not allowed to body shame anymore, right? So
standards go woo. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that was dark.
To bring it to, actually, you know what? You're starting with this.
Yes, we're still gonna be negative today.
No, this is a good thing.
Wait, no.
Oh wait, the roast of the week. Holy crap! I'm so tired.
That's literally that's my whole section of this show, Josh, and you're just stealing it from me.
I got 2 hours of sleep last night.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Let's go. Coffee
All right. So,
and roasts.
all right. Roast of the week this week, GameRant.com. Call of Duty Warzone players accuse bundle of being pay to lose. So we're all familiar with pay to win. It's a criticism that's been leveled at a lot of games since the dawn of microtransactions. You pay extra money to get a certain like weapon or something, and it is like miles ahead of anything you can get unlocking in the game. Therefore, by paying money, you do better. It's why I appreciate Sea of Thieves, because all of the stuff that you unlock in the game is cosmetic. Although apparently cosmetics can cause problems, leave it to Call of Duty to mess that one up. A lot of people have been accusing Call of Duty Warzone as being pay to win, even though most of the stuff that you can unlock is cosmetic. There are weapons, but like one of the cosmetics that you could unlock was these. I think it was the Zero skin. Where is it? They mention it here. The most infamous example of this is Call of Duty Warzone's Rose skin, a notoriously dark outfit that completely obscured players who hid in shadows or the corners of buildings. The bugged Tier 100 Battle Pass skin for Call of Duty Vanguard Season 1 proved equally troublesome. Weapon-wise, a blueprint for the MAC-10 SMG was dubbed pay to win, and more recently, an MP40 blueprint received that label. However, players have the opposite criticism with one piece of paid content. While overpowered Call of Duty Warzone items have frustrated players, the fanbase is just as annoyed when things they pay for are completely useless. A recent Reddit post from user rbeast21 shows that their NZ41's crosshair was off-center. This is a massive problem that essentially makes the weapon unusable, as the bullets fired go nowhere near where the player is aiming. For 30 seconds, they posted a video. For 30 seconds, they fire into some pieces of cover, showing that their weaponry is inaccurate no matter what they do. But here's the kicker. It wasn't the gun's fault. There's a comment on there saying that they had the same problem, and it was the operator skin they were using that was bugged. There was the Shadow Outcast bundle, the Shadow Outcast skin unlocked for the operator Shigenori by purchasing the Curse of the Ancients bundle. He's wearing like an Oni mask, and it's that skin that makes the weapon off-center, and it is a paid bundle. So you pay money to have an inaccurate, like if you use this skin, you have an inaccurate gun.
Well, everyone knows that when you wear a mask, it's harder to see.
I mean, no.
More real life. They're going realism. Milsim. Hoorah.
What kind of mask are you? Are you talking like the face masks? Because if it makes it hard to see, you're wearing them wrong.
Well, maybe they're wearing them wrong.
Are you wearing a gas mask, Josh? Do you walk into Kroger with like a? Are you my mommy?
Are you my mommy? Mommy.
I think people were actually wearing gas masks at the beginning of 2020.
Yeah, no, a couple were.
Yeah, a couple people were.
Hazmat suits.
Yeah, no. So this is, and the kicker for this is this bundle is $20.
Holy crap.
Yeah, and you can't use the skin if you want to like actually do well.
Well, that allows me to now lose, and blame it on that rather than myself.
Right, it gives people excuses for just sucking.
You know, I'm going to go off on this real quick.
Oh, boy.
Because what we're really roasting here is Call of Duty.
As usual on this show.
My brother-in-law, he loves Call of Duty Warzone. No, I won't say loves it, okay? He plays it. And I told him it's like his ex-girlfriend who's very toxic, and he keeps going back to her. And I'm like, my guy.
Aren't both of your brother-in-laws wait,
it's like a
married?
No, yes, it's a metaphor. It's not,
gotcha.
Yeah.
It's a toxic ex, not like a specific person.
Correct. And he keeps going back. And I'm like, why? And he's like, well, because they said they're going to fix it. And I'm like, okay, but do they ever? And he's like, well, they haven't, but they're working on it. And I'm like, dude, listen to yourself. You are playing this game, getting frustrated with said game, and then telling yourself it's going to be okay. Next time it'll be different. Stop going back, bro. Just put it down. It's okay. Move on. There's better things out there for you.
It's you.
Exactly. There's better things out there for you. You are worth more than what they are giving you.
Now you're just somebody that I used to know.
Somebody
I used to know. Wow. Yeah. We both got into that one. Usually I'm the one that goes off singing and you just look at me, and now we both got into it.
Well, when you have no sleep.
Welcome to the launch of our new 2-person boy band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my! We both did the end sync like
but
anyway.
Mine was very not in tune.
It wasn't bad.
Well, thank you.
Anyway, so Call of Duty Warzone. This is why I swapped over to Sea of Thieves, which we've been having a blast with. I don't know. I mean, I don't know about you. I've been having a blast playing it with Dominic.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. Sea of Thieves is pretty fun. I've also like Hell Let Loose is amazing.
That's been
too,
your game. My game has been Sea of Thieves.
Well, there's just something about when you're crawling through a trench as a medic and someone in front of you is like yelling out, help me, please. And you finally get up and you heal them. You're like, I got you. Don't stand up. And they stand up. And then they get shot again. And you're like, dude. And like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's fine. Don't stand up. So then they crouch. And then they get shot in the head, which you can't revive that. And they're like, look, it's going to be. And they just get pinged. And it's proximity chat.
Oh.
So when they die, you don't hear them anymore. So he's like, I'm going to be. And you're just like, oh my
You know
gosh.
who you are, Timothy, watching this show.
So then you run forward and try to help more people. And it just, or you're yelling out and you're like, please help. And then you hear someone go, I'm coming for you. And then you see a grenade land at your feet. And you're like, well, it was fun while it lasted. And then everything goes black.
Wow.
It's a great
Nothing
game.
like war trauma to spice up. Meanwhile, I'm having a fantastic adventure on the high seas, mugging a guy for his treasure and getting shot by a skeleton ship when a megalodon shows up at the same time. And Dominic and I are like, why? We were fighting a skeleton ship. And all of a sudden, Dominic's like, do you hear music? And I was like, yeah. And this giant purple fin just goes, da, da. And we're like, crap.
Sea of Thieves is probably one of the best sea adventure games I've ever played. That and Assassin's Creed Black Flag. But if you want something like Hacksaw Ridge,
if you want to live out the trauma of Hacksaw Ridge in real life. Well, sorry. I just love how you're comparing it to these really gory, realistic movies about like the reality of war and like the PTSD that these people go through. And you're like, it's fun time.
Well, I know. I saw it. Yeah.
What was that? We were talking about another game where you're just like, well, you can go in and like relive like Operation Desert Storm. And I was like, this is like real stuff that people really went through. And we're like playing video games about it. Like, I get it. Like, I think 6 days at like a game like 6 Days in Fallujah is really cool. Being able to like experience, granted, a take on it. Like, it's not like you're actually seeing what really happened.
Right.
But like some perspective on it, and probably the closest we'll see without actually going into active service.
Right.
Like, I get it. And I like that video games are trying to become more than just an entertainment medium. It makes me laugh because in the back of my head, I think we're putting like Sonic and Mario and Kirby and war in the same category.
Well, it's definitely one of those things where like it has, like you said, it has its own spot, right?
Yeah.
So even Battlefield and Call of Duty, those things are very much arcadey. You run around, you shoot people. I never really get jump scared. In this game, when you're crawling and all of a sudden a German runs around the corner of a building and you don't have anything ready yet, you don't have your gun drawn, like you
because it takes time.
You're just like, ah! And then you get like shot, or you both. I've had a point where we both ran around the corner, saw each other, both of us freaked out and just started shooting. Ran out of ammo on our rifles.
Yikes.
Switched to our like knives and we're like, ah! And like tried to hit each other.
Wow.
Like, we were just like, it was like very cinematic. I'll put it that way. Like when you're a medic and you're crawling through the trenches and there's grenades all around you, there's 20 people that are all injured yelling out for your, to help them. Because respawning in this game it's brutal. Like it takes 10 seconds just to get through the not loading screen, but the
buffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a 30-second respawn time depending on what garrison you spawn at. So you're talking close to a minute of just sitting there.
Oof.
And then if you spawn back, you have to run for another 2 minutes to get back to the front lines. Like it's
Sounds
very
like
much like when you're a medic, you have to help these guys because they want to stay in the fight rather than take 5 minutes to get back into the action.
Interesting.
So it just gets very cinematic and fun. And then meeting people for, I don't know, 2 minutes and then they get shot, killed, and then you don't run into them in the game. You don't remember their name tag, so you never ever see them ever again. And you're just like, that was fun until he stood up and got shot when I told him not to. Like it's just, I don't know. There's
I feel like this game would give me emotional problems if I actually
emotional damage.
Yeah.
Have you seen that meme?
No.
Oh, it's a guy.
All I can think of is the giant crab with the massive damage.
He does an accent, and he like talks about cooking different types of like I think like Asian foods and things like that. And so he like does his own accent. And that's one thing he does. Like when someone cooks rice wrong,
Oh.
there's like a white girl cooking rice. He goes, "Oh no, emotional damage."
Oh, wait, no, I have seen this
That
guy.
yeah.
Because one of them was just like the white girl way of making rice. And
Yes.
Because it turned out okay. Because she like roasted, like she said something super sarcastic. And he's like, "Oh, I like this. I like being sarcastic and mean." He's like, "I like this." Isn't he like Uncle something or other?
Yeah, Uncle something. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, I have seen one of his videos.
Yeah. Anyway, we
We are
went
20
down
minutes into this
we went down a
podcast and we
rabbit
haven't
hole.
talked about any of the actual articles we picked up.
Woohoo!
So, roast of the week, Call of Duty,
All right.
promising to fix their game. They're not going to fix their game. Now to get positive.
Yes.
I'm Olaf and I like warm hugs.
No.
Sorry. Olaf is one of my least favorite animated characters in any animated movie ever. Sorry, not sorry. I don't know why. I just said we were going to get positive.
Positivity. I hate this character.
I don't even know why. Maybe it's because he got so popular. GameSpot.com. Awesome Games Done Quick 2022 raises over $3.4 million for Prevent Cancer Foundation. So to warm your heart, if we have like nice heartwarming coffee and nice heartwarming Awesome Games Done Quick. This is really cool. Awesome Games Done Quick 2022, the first of multiple charity speedrunning events run by the Games Done Quick Foundation, has ended with over $3.4 million raised for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. 139 speedruns made up this year's marathon, which began January 9th at 12 p.m. ET and ended at approximately 2 a.m. ET January 16th. The exact amount raised by the event was $3,416,729, with all donations taken during that same period. Highlights of the year's event included a Pokemon race with one player running Omega Ruby and the other Alpha Sapphire, runs in multiple 2021 releases including Resident Evil Village and It Takes Two, and a blindfolded run of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which, what? Like, what?
Emotional damage.
Like, how?
How could you do that?
Like, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is basically Dark Souls in Japan, pretty much. I think it's Japan. I'm going to feel really bad if it's not Japan. Hold it one
And
second.
yet, he did it blindfolded.
Yeah.
In exactly 2 hours.
That's like
Multiple
it's
records
from
were also
software.
set during the
like,
event.
so it's a Souls like.
That is insane. I don't think I could complete it in 2 years.
Yeah, I haven't even touched it because I don't want anything to do with. Yeah, okay, Japan. Woo. Oh wait. Yes. Okay. I don't want to touch any like Souls-like game. Like that's why I haven't bought Sekiro. I haven't bought any of the Dark Souls games. Bloodborne. No. If it's got From Software on it, I run away because I don't like those punishing difficulties. But like doing it blindfolded is insane. But anyway, I'm glad that people are willing to put themselves through that pain to raise money for charity. That's really cool. But yeah. They did Kena Bridge of Spirits in 28 minutes and 35 seconds, which I've heard that game's really good. Also kind of like Dark Souls level difficult too, which is surprising because it looks really cute and fun, and it's like apparently really hard.
Yeah. Not for that guy. 28 minutes.
They're also still apparently playing Sonic the Hedgehog 4, which is just hilarious to me.
Think about this. This kid or guy or girl or whoever, I don't know who did this, but the Kena Bridge of Spirits, 28 minutes, 35 seconds. He could have done that on a lunch break.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, I just played a full game.
Oh, shush. Shush. That's a dude. I was trying to see who it was. Oh, he's just like jumping everywhere.
Could you imagine being able to play through an entire game during your lunch break at work?
I mean, you have to memorize the game. That's the thing about speedrunning that like, so I find speedrunning really fascinating. I don't ever like watch them because I don't know. The only ones that I would be interested in watching are Super Metroid speedruns because those ones are insane because people have picked that game to death. And like, if you watch the best speedrunners running it, they're literally like milliseconds off from each other doing the exact same moves. It's fascinating. But you have to memorize the entire game. Like, you just spend hours and hours and hours and hours playing it, perfecting your run. So speedrunning,
I don't think I'd like that.
I would hate it. It would kill any love I had for a game. That's why I don't ever want to be a speedrunner, because I just want to enjoy games.
Right.
But if that's your thing, if you ever want to look into the mind of a speedrunner, I recommend a channel, Summoning Salt. It's basically all he covers is speedruns. And like the runs that people do, he did one on Super Mario Brothers, like reaching the actual human limit of beating Super Mario Brothers. like as fast as humanly possible.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And someone does it faster.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll probably get to that point. I don't know. But so it's insane. So if you ever want to look into the mind of a speedrunner, check out Summoning Salt. But this is really cool that they like used it to raise money.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Over $3.4 million for cancer prevention. That's awesome. That's
I really
cool.
feel like we're like I watched some videos on like the state of cancer research, and we're actually getting to the point that we might be making some big breakthroughs in the next like relatively near future when it comes to scientific development. But like, who knows? We might get to the point where that's not a big deal anymore. We've eradicated diseases before.
Oh yeah, and I think we will. Well, it's
cancer is a little different than like polio, but
it's
because it's not one disease. It's like,
and I don't
it's like a
go,
type of.
I'm not trying to go down no rabbit hole of conspiracy theories and all that thing. Assuming that everyone is great and everyone is truly trying to cure cancer and do it for good things. Like, I think we're close. There's always going to be people, though, that try to set things back that do only care about money. And that's just... People are evil a lot of times when it comes to world. But that being said, I do think that there is more good. And I think that we will eventually overcome.
Well, we were almost heartwarming there for a second.
I think I just said we were going to overcome.
Yeah, as long as we can keep all the evil people from doing their evil things.
Well, that's how the life works.
Evil Incorporated.
It's good versus bad. You got bad guys, you got the good guys, and the good guys have to beat the bad guys, or else the world goes. That's just how it works.
Just move on. just talk about your.
So,
I'm done.
the next article we have is Tom'sGuide.com article about the PSVR 2. And it's by Mike Williams, Imad Khan, and Denise Primbit.
Primbit.
When I saw Mike Williams, I was like, finally a good name. Then I'm like, but it's also by
Imad Khan and Denise Primbit.
And I was like,
Primbay, maybe.
Why can't you just have John Doe, John Smith,
stop having complicated
and John
names,
Cena,
people.
okay?
There it is.
The triple Johns, triple J's. Anyway, as fans continue to fight over limited PS5 restock, Sony is seemingly looking past its supply woes and has begun trickling out information about its next-gen PSVR. At CES 2022, Sony confirmed it would be called the PlayStation VR 2, which we'll call PSVR 2 for brevity's sake. Brevity. However you want to say it. It's up to you.
It's brevity.
It's tomato.
No, it's brevity.
VR gaming hasn't yet become the de facto way to experience an interactive entertainment, though it's now slowly entering the mainstream, especially with the success of Facebook's Oculus Quest 2. Given that the PS5 is currently the fastest-selling console in history, there might be enough buyers willing to give the successor to the moderately successful PSVR a chance, which I really liked PSVR. I think it was the cheapest way to get in, and they tried to sell it as a, hey, this is the Atari of video games. Like, This is the beginning. Don't expect it to be amazing. And people were like, well, that's weird that you market it like that. But you know what? We'll buy it because you're truthful. And it was good enough.
It gave you a taste of what VR could be.
Exactly. Like they say, at the moment, there's no release date for PSVR 2, but according to the latest production report, it certainly looks likely to launch sometime in 2022. However, the details about the upcoming PSVR keep surfacing, and based on what we're hearing, the wait could definitely well be worth it. So they go on to
listen up. Here's a story. Every time you do that, it just sounds like.
So they go on to talk about like different upgrades and things like that they have, and I mean, you guys can look at this article and read through all the specs and everything like that. But what I actually got really excited for was actually towards the bottom of this article when it talks about at CES 2022, Sony announced the first title that will be available for the PSVR 2 is Horizon Call of the Mountain from Guerrilla and Firesprite.
I assume that's in the Horizon Zero Dawn.
I believe so. Yeah.
Franchise.
And they say it's being built exclusively for the Sony headset. But that's not all. Sony could implement but that's not all that Sony could implement in terms of gaming on its upcoming VR headset. The company previously said that they will offer, quote, unique experiences that are synonymous with PlayStation, end quote. which leads us to believe that there might be potential for AAA exclusives.
Which that's insane. So this actually kind of addresses one of my biggest issues the last time we talked about VR. We talked about it one time where you were saying that they would have VR side games for AAA releases, where I was a little worried that it was going to be like Nintendo's offerings for Breath of the Wild, where like you're like this entity floating far away looking at Link. It was bad. I didn't like the VR for like Mario Odyssey and that sort of thing. But if these AAA studios are actually going to put the work in to make full AAA games for the PSVR, that's different. And that's actually kind of what I think we've always wanted VR to be. I've always been a sucker for the like unique experiences. Like I love Job Simulator. I tried the demo for Creed, the Creed VR game on, my family has an Oculus Quest. And I tried the Creed game. That was really fun. I liked Beat Saber, like these little experience games that aren't like full games, but just something you can pop in, play for like 20 minutes and be done. Those are really fun, but that's not what we have always thought of as VR. Like when we look at like Ready Player One or these movies that talk about VR, we look at these full worlds, kind of like what the metaverse is supposed to be, like this interconnected network of places you can go in VR, and have these experiences. So that kind of looks like what these AAA studios would be offering. Not necessarily places you can go, but like experiences, like 40, 50-hour experiences you can have in VR.
Right.
Now, are you going to want to play a VR game for 40 hours?
Yes, if it's good. If it's good.
Yes.
Star Trek. They had a Star Trek game.
Oh, yeah, you told me about this one.
That game, I mean, I played for, I won't say 40 hours, but I guarantee you I put at least 20, 25 hours into that game. Because that game was, it was very easy. So you didn't move, you sat in a seat, and if you were the captain, you had the people in front of you, and you could point, you could talk, you could tell them what to do, you could hit all your buttons on your control thing, you could see the outside of the ship and like where you're going, and you could tell people, like it was very much built for VR in the fact of they weren't trying to get you to move. The movements of the ship itself, the ship was so big in space, you were in space, so it didn't make you motion sick. You could tell people what to do, and they just could do everything by where they were sitting. It just made it very accessible to, number one, not get motion sick. Number two, not feel like you're missing out because you're not moving around. And number three, when you're sitting in your chair, they had the arms like deals. That's where all your controls were. So your character sat like this, had all his controls at his fingertips.
Yeah.
So just like you did. So it really did immerse you into the experience.
Yeah.
So if they do it very well, I'm 100% down to put 40 hours into it.
I felt that way about Vader Immortal. Like the way the lightsaber battles in that game worked, and the way they balanced movement. Like you can have motion sickness options. But like if you got a big enough room, you could walk just about anywhere. And now you had to like reset when you got to the edge of the room and like rotate the world around you. But you could do that. Like I actually brought it over to the church here and like played it in the big office area. So I had like 20 feet where I could just walk back and forth. And that was really, really cool. And again, that's with the Quest, which is all built into the headset. You're probably not going to be able to do that with the PSVR, but because it has to be hooked up to the PlayStation.
Yeah, I think there's still going to be a single wire. They're trying to maybe eliminate, but I don't think they will.
That'd be really cool though if they could make it wireless. If they could manage that would kind of clinch it.
Because at that point, it's its own system essentially.
Yeah, I mean, you still need the PlayStation, but what I like about this is it seems to be, and they even mention it in the article, is it seems to be a blend between the portability of the Quest and the price point of the Quest and the power of like the HTC Vive. Because like the Vive, I think is like $400 or $500, and you still need a high-end gaming PC to run the stupid games to begin with. Whereas the PlayStation, what I've always loved about console gaming is the fact that you buy this box and you know that any game that has the logo on it is going to run on said box. Like you don't have to compare specs. You don't have to look around to make sure that you're able to run it. You buy the box. And you don't have to build the box. You don't have to like make sure you're getting the best price on a graphics card and put it all together. And it's not on you. If you are a tinkerer and you like that sort of thing, then that's why people build PCs, because they like that sort of thing. To me, that's too much responsibility. I like just buying a box and knowing the box works. So that's what I've always liked about console gamings. And I like how PlayStation is making it so that you know that every PSVR game you buy for your PS5 is going to run on the PS5. Like you buy the PS5, you buy the headset, you know it's going to work. You don't have to build it. You don't have to like make sure it's compatible. It just works. I like that. So they're kind of striking a balance between the accessibility of the Quest and the power of the Vive.
Well, they're actually saying that it's probably going to be what the PlayStation VR cost at launch, which was $400. So it'll probably be closer towards the HTC Vive in terms of...
So basically you're saving money because the PS5 is about half the price of a high-end PC.
Right, and you don't have to worry about, like you said, oh, I need the newest graphics card in order to run this VR game. Like, you can just run it.
Yeah, and you do sacrifice, and to be fair, you do sacrifice the power of PC gaming. Like,
right,
the PS5 isn't quite on the level of PC, but like... At that
console
point,
is really getting there, though. I mean,
really
and I
is
get
getting
that
close.
PC keeps moving forward, but console's slowly closing that gap.
Yeah.
Like, I do believe there will be a day where we're essentially playing console games on a big PC that's only made for games.
Yeah.
Like, bummer, I can't do my taxes on it.
Well, you also don't have access to the Steam store. So, like, the Steam store has so many other games. I mean,
I know PC has Game Pass too, but whatever.
Yeah, but like the Steam store does have so many indie games, and that you could just play any of them.
I do like their
there
indie
is
games
that
titles.
there is the PC has accessibility in a more open marketplace versus like the PlayStation Store or the Microsoft Store where you have to shake hands with Sony and Microsoft in order to get on. But still,
right.
I don't know. I'm not super into VR. I think it's too expensive, and to me, it's too much of a novelty. Like, I got bored of the Quest pretty quickly after my family got it, and I don't even know if my family uses it that much anymore. Since I've moved out, I haven't really known, but I don't know. I don't know that I would invest the money, especially since I went with the Series S instead of the PS5, and sometimes I feel a little bit bad, but also all of my friends have Xboxes.
You made the correct choice.
That's
I'm just kidding. I really love PlayStation, and I'm going to get one
too.
eventually. I sold mine. I needed to sell it for certain reasons, so I will eventually buy one, and I'm going to get the PlayStation VR. I'd say probably sometime 2023. Oh, I'll pick that stuff up again.
Yeah, it depends on what my financial situation looks like. I would like to get a PS5 at some point. I don't know if I'd go with the digital or the disc. I would like to go with the disc because I could keep all my old games, but depends on. So, do you still like? Is that like PlayStation Hits thing that you got when you bought the PS5? Like, you got the best games of the last generation. Is that like permanent?
I believe so.
Like,
I believe
every
it's
PlayStation 5 gets those games.
I believe it's for everyone. Like,
or I think it's a PS Plus membership.
Yeah, you can just download it. It's like a little section.
Huh.
I mean, they might have it limited to for a certain amount of years, but I mean, I don't know why they would do that. I mean, I'm assuming it's just for anyone that can want to play it.
Because most of the games that I have are in that collection, like Horizon Zero Dawn. Is the Spyro trilogy in there? Probably.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, I don't know what's in it, but anyway,
I will say that the digital would be worth it. I would honestly go digital only if you had good internet at the time. So because where I'm at, like, I have the Xbox Series X, but I did that not for the storage and all that stuff or the disc port. I haven't used the disc port like
at all.
I've used it for one game, Guardians of the Galaxy. That's it.
Huh.
That's it. And so everything else I play is on Game Pass, or I just buy a download digital copy of it. And for me, I have a gig up and down, so I can delete and reinstall games in 10, 15 minutes. Like, if it doesn't, for me, I'm not limited by the amount of space of storage, especially because I don't play a 150 gigabyte game like Call of Duty.
I will say, since I bought the Series S, I'm a little sad that I can't go down to the used game store and like go buy old 360 games to play on it, which I would be able to do with the X. That's the one thing that's made me feel like I should have just splurged for the X, especially because I had to buy an $80 external hard drive to store the games. So I've essentially paid almost $400 for it. So an extra $120 I could have gotten the X with the terabyte HDD.
Right.
So I'm starting to wonder if maybe I should have just splurged. The supply, really the big thing for me was the supply. Like, I don't know when I would have been able to get one.
Yeah.
Whereas the S, I ran down to Target and I bought the thing.
Yeah, the X is definitely, so the way I see it is the S is the most easily found, then it goes the X, then the PS5, digital and regular are both like...
Yeah, they're really both hard to find.
Honestly,
I don't know what it
the
is.
digital, when it first released, the digital sold out faster.
Well, because it was cheaper.
Right. And so
It's only $100 cheaper though.
right. But the only thing it misses is the disk drive. The reason the Xbox Series S was so popular and they were able to make so many is selling price of $299.
That's insane. Like that's last gen prices.
Yeah, like I saw it was the Xbox One X, and it was $240.
I think I paid,
used.
I think I paid $300 for my Switch brand new. When I moved out, one of the first things I bought was a Switch because I was like, I want to play Switch games. I love Nintendo.
Right.
And it was $300.
So it's like Microsoft did something great when they did that.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation did something great with VR. Xbox doesn't have VR. Okay, I don't think they're not working their way towards VR.
I think Microsoft knows that the market is too saturated, and they've got their golden cow with Game Pass, and they know that they got to put their efforts into that. I think they think that doing VR would just distract them too much, and I agree.
Oh, 100%.
I don't think we need another VR competitor.
We don't. I think that between the Oculus, PSVR, HTC Vive, like those three, they are pushing each other, and they're moving at their own pace, and they're doing good. If Xbox hopped in the mix, I feel like they would possibly fail. Although, could you imagine having an Xbox headset? Like, it would just be a big X. And like, that'd be
you'd look like an alien.
You'd be like, and it'd glow green. And
nice.
Sorry.
How did we get on we were talking about the VR. I guess we kind of, I feel like we've been so distractible, but I guess it kind of all relates
It's all,
to the
We're still
PSVR.
sticking with the VR stuff.
But anyway, it could be cool. I don't have a PlayStation 5. I don't know when I'll get one. If I did, I don't know that I would spend the money on a VR headset, but that's me. I'm not a big VR gamer. If you're into VR, this looks like a nice like middle of the road option. But yeah.
Are you wanting to go ahead and skip through this one real quick and just get on to that last one, or you want to just briefly?
I want to briefly talk about it because I think it's really unique. So this is one of the most unique things I've heard in a while. Ubisoft is developing a VR, speaking of VR, a VR escape game based on the Notre Dame fire. I'm not going to read the whole article. It's by Roland Bishop on comicbook.com. Ubisoft is a French company, so they kind of had a huge stake in the Notre Dame fire. Notre Dame, sorry. I live in northern Indiana. When I hear Notre Dame, I think of Notre Dame University, but like the actual name of the cathedral is Notre Dame. Back in 2019, you might have forgotten given world events, but the Cathedral of Notre Dame, basically burned down. And so Ubisoft, a French company, is releasing a location-based virtual reality escape game this coming March called Notre Dame on Fire. The VR escape game shares its name with director Jean-Jacques Annaud's upcoming docudrama of the same name and was developed in partnership with Pathé, a production company behind the movie. The 1-hour experience will see players take on the role of the Parisian fire brigade during the terrible fire in April 2019 that destroyed a goodly portion of the famous landmark. So they mention how in Assassin's Creed Unity, there was a detailed in-game model of the cathedral. So Ubisoft has always kind of showed a little love to the cathedral. This looks really interesting. At first, I was like, that feels a little like in poor taste to make a game about such a big tragedy. Like when I heard how deadly the fire was, I was like really heartbroken because I think the Cathedral of Notre Dame is one of the most beautiful buildings ever constructed. And hearing it done in our lifetime, how it burned down, like it's been a fixture of Paris for hundreds of years. Like it would be like, honestly, it would kind of be like the White House being caught on fire, like it was in the War of 1812, like when the British burned the White House.
Right.
So it's insane that happened in our lifetime. So I was like, you're gonna make a game about it? But I think going back to what we were talking about, how about video games moving to be more than just an entertainment medium, but like getting people to think about things and experience things that they wouldn't normally. This seems like a perfect way of doing that, getting people to think about something from a nation that they're not from, but like put themselves in the shoes of emergency workers. Again, people that we don't think about very often, EMTs, firefighters, that sort of thing. You're going to have to like communicate with your team to make sure that you're reaching the goal on time and getting there on like before Notre Dame burns down. I think it sounds really cool. I don't know that it's going to come out here. It sounds like it's kind of a French exclusive, but I don't know. It looks like it's appearing in 600 international partner locations that have access to such things from Ubisoft in March. And it plays out much like other VR escape games with puzzles and the like. And it also means cooperation is key. So
is this going to be more of like a what is it? The place we go to?
The Waypoint V Arcade?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be like a place that you
buy.
go to. Yeah, a place that you go to experience, not necessarily a game you would download to your console. From the sound of it.
That would be amazing, because that room that they have...
Yeah, the zero latency?
Yeah, your gun would probably be like the fire hose or something like that, or a fire extinguisher. But this goes back to, like you said, putting yourself in the shoes of other people's experiences without actually having to experience it. Understanding, like, I have a lot of fun with that World War II game. I would never, ever want to be put in that situation. You know what I mean? It freaks me out in the game sometimes, and it's just a game. I'm sitting on my couch eating Doritos, drinking Mountain Dew, but yet it...
Sorry, go ahead. I just have something to say after this.
I was just going to say, like, it's intense. And if you can play an experience that people lived on a video game and on a screen and be like, oh man, that was intense. Imagine what they went through. Imagine what they go through, And I think it does help us give us a little bit of a, perspective on how things happen. When you're in this building and the walls are crumbling and the floor falls out from under you and you fall 3 stories, burning, man.
This reminds me, a while back, I saw a tweet from some guy who was like, this is a piece of advice from an older man to a young man. Instead of being a couch participator, if you enjoy fighting games, go out and join a boxing gym or an MMA gym. If you enjoy Call of Duty, go out and enlist. Don't be a casual participator. Go out and do it. And I'm like, maybe people like playing that because we don't want to get punched in the face or shot in the head. Like I enjoy Call of Duty because when I die, I come back.
You're still alive.
Yeah, and I don't have to kill people also in real life.
Like off Ice Age. Did you die? Yes.
But I lived. Yeah, like, I think that kind of misses the point of being, and I understand the thinking of going out and living, and that's kind of something that I do want to go out and do some things this year. Granted, last couple of years, it's been kind of hard to do. Yes, I drank all of my coffee, Josh, because it's good. You're tired, but I like
it more.
It's been kind of hard to go out and experience things. So video games have been a nice substitute. But like that thinking of like, go out and do it. And I'm like, okay, but like in Street Fighter, when I get knocked out, I don't have to go to the hospital.
Exactly.
If I got knocked out in a boxing match, that's a big deal. Like I kind of need medical attention. Whereas if you get knocked out in a movie, you just get back up 30 minutes later and you're like, oh, I have a headache. Like, no, you have a concussion. You need to spend 3 weeks in the dark.
Real quick, rounding out the podcast today, Game Pass releases a bunch of games in January. I'll just go through them real quick. You want to name the first 2? I can't pronounce those.
Wait, what are the first 2? Spelunky?
No.
On the
Yeah, so January 4th.
Oh,
So I'm
Gorogoa on January 4th and Olija on January 4th?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
As well as The Pedestrian, which I actually want to check out.
I've heard about that.
Ember on January 6th. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. It sucks that I bought that on PlayStation 5. January 6th. Outer Wilds, January 6th. Spelunky 2, January 13th. The Anacrusis?
The Anacrusis, which actually looks kind of cool.
It really does. January 13th. That's more of like the Left 4 Dead type shooter. Nobody Saves the World. That's depressing. January 18th. Hitman Trilogy, which is going to be awesome that they're coming out with that on January 20th. And then you have 3 day 1 releases in Paparazzi, Rainbow Six Extraction, and Windjammers 2. So those like Rainbow Six Extraction coming to Game Pass day and date, that's really cool.
That's part of the reason I got Game Pass was all of the day 1 games.
Yeah, like Windjammers 2 also like that's not really my game, but like
no, I'm excited. I'm excited for these.
So I mean they're really knocking it out of the park. And it's only January. So I'm excited for where they go with that, but just for everyone that does have an Xbox or a PC, like that's all happening today. So all of these games will be out by the time you're listening to this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, January 20th.
So yeah, play some games, guys.
Enjoy the Game Pass. Enjoy the blessings Microsoft has bestowed upon you. The gracious hand of Bill Gates.
The gracious hand.
I don't know where that came from. Sorry.
But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode.
Yeah.
Unless you had anything else.
No, we got a lot. We talked about a ton.
We did definitely go
But I
through a lot.
think we kind of actually stayed on topic for once.
We really did. I feel like we kept things moving. We kept it all within about 45, 50 minutes.
Good to be back.
So, we made it through.
Four less teeth and a lot of antibodies later, I'm back.
And lots of less hours of sleep. And apparently that makes me do a good show.
I guess because you feel less chaotic because you're tired. You have no energy to like get completely off topic. I don't know.
True. Yeah. There's a lot of rabbit holes that I was like, that looks tempting. Let's move on. You know, I just ignored them. Like
it makes you more of an adult, I guess.
Exactly.
When you're tired.
What could have been the podcast today?
Could have had another metaverse episode. So, also, pick this up. Seriously.
Do good, feels good, tastes
Seriously,
good.
This is a good one. This is probably my favorite so far, other than the Kayakopi.
Get your avocado juices.
Ew.
What?
You can't juice an avocado.
I mean, you could.
No, you blend it up.
Could you juice it though?
Okay. All right. Now I got to look this up. Speaking of getting off topic, give me a second here.
While he does that, I will say thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast, supporting the podcast. It really does mean a lot. If you want to support the podcast and you're listening on Spotify, Anchor, or any platform that you listen to, click the link below to support us. It's greatly appreciated. Anything that you would like to donate, all of it goes straight to the podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead, just like, comment, subscribe, do all of those things. And you know what? Rate us. You can now rate on Spotify. So rate us on Spotify and iTunes, wherever you guys get your podcasts.
In answer to my question, no, you can't. It has the wrong texture and consistency, and they don't contain a lot of juice.
Spoiler alert, next week we're juicing an avocado.
Live right here, we're going to break a juicer.
Boom. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next week. Juice avocados.